Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. Now, I got a lot of questions about paralysis by analysis, right? The situation is, I speak to people all the time who have been thinking about doing this or think they've started to do things towards this, and they are paralyzed. Oh, it's hot as hell in this car. One second. But an overload of information. So a couple of things. I'm going to tell you probably why you're overloaded and what you should do to overcome it. The first reason you're overloaded is because there's a tremendous amount of information on the internet about what I do, right? About buying houses, about wholesaling houses, flipping houses. And it's overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff out there. So the first thing I'll tell you is that pretty much all of it is not going to help you in New York. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm the only guy really who is putting out content and teaching people how to do this in New York. New York is another planet from the other 49 states. Another planet. I'm serious. The way real estate transactions happen in New York State is just vastly different than other ones. And if you are getting your information from somebody who is not operating in New York, and I can tell you that there is nobody out there who's teaching this who operates in New York except me, it's going to be a lot of information that's not good. That's number one. So I would say limit your content to me only, or somebody else if there is somebody else doing that's showing this in New York. Number two is the real way to overcome the paralysis is by actually doing the things that you need to be doing. And I'm going to, over the next few days, talk about the things people do that they shouldn't be doing, and there's so many of them. But the only thing you should be doing if you want to get into this business, assuming that you want to wholesale or you want to buy direct from a seller, is getting a list, paying for a list, or getting lists via PropStream if you want. And if you see in the notes, I give discounts on PropStream, or I get discounts on lists. Get a list, skip trace the list, call the list. That's it. Even if you have money to pay somebody else to do it, when you start, you should make those calls yourself, so you know what a good call sounds like, you know what a bad call sounds like. I would do that for a month before I'd pay anybody to do it, just so you can, because if you want to eventually pay for people to do it, you need to be able to monitor their calls, and you need to know what a good call is and what a bad call is. That's it. You should be talking to sellers. That's it. In the words of the great Brent Daniels, talk to people, ask them if they want to sell, and if they do, get into why and what the story is. That's it. Now, if you don't know what that means, then you should be learning how to do it. Now, you can buy my course, or you can watch my videos. You can get information from all the free content that I provide. My course, obviously, is the best way for you to learn. But I don't want to be shamelessly plug my own course. But you should be talking to sellers. If you're spending time talking to attorneys, if you are trying to build a buyer's list, if you are trying to get your business cards, if you are forming your LLC, whatever the hell, any of those things, you are wasting your time. All those things are a waste of time. The hardest part of this business, and the reason why everybody doesn't do it, is because you have to talk to a lot of sellers, many of which are going to tell you to drop dead, and you need to find and lock up deals at a discount. That is the far and away the hardest part of this business. I would say it's 95% of the business. If you just do that, everything else will be fine. I can help you with any of it if you find a deal, so don't worry about it. But people get paralyzed by analysis because there's so many little intricacies. How do I know how to estimate repairs? How do I find a buyer? What happens if my buyer doesn't show up? What kind of contract should I use? These are all wastes of time. You need to get a list, skip trace the list, call the list, market to the list. You have to call it. You can text it a million different ways, but market to the list. Talk to sellers, speak to people. You're going to suck at it in the beginning. I did. Everybody does. And eventually you get better, and you realize what a good seller sounds like, and you realize what a good deal might be, and everything seems to fall into place when you actually spend the time doing the things that you should be doing. So the way to overcome paralysis by analysis is by doing the things you should be doing, not by thinking about them or learning about them. And I can't even count how many people who've spent so much time doing things that they felt are important because they want to avoid the rejection of talking to sellers who may not want to sell to them, right? So talking to attorneys, all the things I just said, talking to buyers, a waste of time. Just talk to sellers, lock up deals, and it takes time. It takes a long time. It's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in a month. It may not happen in 6 months. It takes time, but you need to talk to sellers, and that's what you should be doing. The way you overcome paralysis by analysis is by actually taking the actions that you should be taking. So I hope this was helpful. If you want information on how I can help you in other ways, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you like these videos, please keep the comments coming to give me topics. I try to post content every day, and sometimes I struggle to find what I'm supposed to say. So give me comments and questions. There are no bad questions, no bad comments. It helps me out a lot because it gives me things to talk about, and that's helpful because when you post every day for a few years, and sometimes I have to say the same things. Sometimes new information comes up. Sometimes it's easy, but more comments help me. So please keep the comments coming. Thank you very, very much for watching.